I grew up listening to music. Back in the days, we used to listen to pop stars like P Square, The Band back then.
I used to sing P Square song from the beginning to the end. I know all their lyrics and everything. I sing their song, dance and all of that. That's where everything started.
Every Nigerian artist, that's what is number one problem, family. Because there's no African parent that will let you do music easily like that. You have to be stubborn for it. Share the light. You have to be stubborn. Because I remember when I started this music, my mom, somehow it's as if she supports you. But me, I know you don't support. You don't support.
Not in the street though. Not in the street. If you dey street, you will see the people they try and come off for street. Because nothing there. The little way they street na problem. Wahala.
You get problem.
Issues. You go die. You get nothing in the street. You understand? So it's just for you to not have that hustling spirit.
Okay.
You get whether you go school or you get whether you don't go school. You understand? It's just to find something that you know you are good at.
Okay.
You get something you know that you can do. This is what I want to do. You get now. Find it and expand. When you say chase the bar, you're hustling. Hustling means doing whatever it takes to make money.
Anyhow,
you get when somebody say I'm hustling, I'm doing whatever it takes to make money. Whether I good, whether I bad, I'm just doing whatever it takes to make money. You get now, that's you chasing the bar. You get now, and that also will put you in problem. You get now, but making friends with money is having a process and you make money.
Steady process.
You get
not be illegal.
That is it. You find a process that you can make money from. Once you find that process.
When you say process, you mean business, right?
Yeah, business-wise, expand.
I told my dad I will be a lawyer. I was like, why law? I felt that law was a place your voice will be built. Okay, that confidence, you get to defend. My own was the key word was defending people. That was what I was after. So it was really on the negative side than on the positive side. Okay. So it was like, why not study medicine in school? I was like, what is up this man? So art is for me. But what did that want? Science. Wants you to be a doctor. I asked him why. Money the medicine. But the truth is, we have so many persons doing fantastically well in music, in football. I take those two things as an example. Those guys know to they pressure themselves for book matter. It's just about the skills. You train yourself and you get there. A lot of us are chasing the dreams of our parents. Most of us have deprived ourselves of joy in the course of fulfilling their aspirations. But do you know that when you are a step towards fulfilling your dreams, their own dreams, you end up losing a piece of yours. A fantastic viewers, anytime, any day. I'm always proud to be called your host. Uproots the Issue podcast is here again to save you a cooking episode that is better brought to you this very hour, just to help you understand that you have and you are entitled to your aspirations in life. Of course, we've had issues, we had situations where parents force a career on the child or their children. And what would you have to say? How the place we are now, or the place you found yourself so far in your journey in life, is it that particular place that you aspired to be? I've been telling you, not be everyone who end up as doctors, but why is it that most of our parents end up choosing and forcing career on the children? Yes, this is Undiluted, reaching you this very hour. So join us as we start the conversation. Do you believe that everyone would end up being a doctor? Do you believe that your father should choose a career for you, or you should follow your dreams? Join us, of course. This is your number one fantastic podcast host, Ekemine. I'm always smiling because anytime I remember that you're out there viewing this, looking at my grinning face, of course, I have every reason to be happy because you are never fulfilled if I'm not seated here to ensure that I bring you satisfaction at the end. And so if you've been watching this, I would actually commend you. Thank you so much if you've been a good supporter of Uproot the Issue. Keep on uprooting issues because we are here to uproot more. So we are joining here to talk about the whole topic today, the essence of our conversation. What we'll be looking at today is why parents shouldn't force any career on a child. Why parents shouldn't force any career on a child. So join us as we start the conversation. Of course, I have you in this talk show room very fantastic rising musicians here in my midst joining me because at some point, Omo, they will get this experience. They rose to the career and they realize that, Omo, it is not easy. Okay, so if you feel it's easy, come and run it. Of course, the fantastic. I'm joined by a singer and a rapper here in my midst. I would love them to introduce themselves, but man, these guys look so sharp. And Jackson. So let my viewers get to know you.
Okay, hello guys. I go by the name TNA. I'm a music artist from Uyo Akwabom here.
Okay, Mr. Jack.
Hello guys, I'm Jackson Ken. I'm a music artist, I'm a producer and a cinematographer. Thank you for having me.
Wow. So Jack and T, you guys, this one sings, this other one raps. So we believe you give us some vibes when you're about leaving here.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so about this whole conversation, but before I just start, where you are now, you are into music. Is it something you've actually growing up? Is it something you've wished to do? Or am more victim of circumstance?
I would say victim of circumstance, as you said, because it was not something I planned.
Or what I ordered is what I got.
Yeah, something like that. Because when I was small, right?
Okay.
I mean, I grew up listening to music. You know, back in the days, we used to listen to pop stars like P Square, D'banj back then. And, you know, as a kid, your parents will always be putting you on a path that they want, you know. So now, when I was a kid, I used to say I want to be a doctor. I mean, I don't know how, but
Where are you now? To our boy spits.
But you know, my mom was just the one that forced, I won't say forced, but she made me love that career. I remember in JS3, because I went to Tofit Legacy College.
Yeah.
There's this book I read written by Ben Carson, Gifted Hands.
That book inspired so many people. Dr. Ben, God.
Gifted Hands. So I read that book, I think like 3 times. So that was where it all started from. I'm like, I want to be a doctor. I want to, you know, I want to save lives. As I used to normally say, I want to save lives.
Maybe you want to say before.
I don't know. But over time, you know, I know my weak points. You know, I just knew what I could do and what I could not do. So I noticed that I'm not good at calculations. Actually, not like I'm bad, but
no one is bad. No one is bad in calculations.
not like I wasn't good at calculations. I was, but more in my class back then. We used to have like, you know, top tier students that before the teacher is done solving, they will just you just be there. Teacher don't do calculate before teacher will just go with answer. They don't answer already. So I knew that definitely school back then was competition. Just competition. So nothing that I couldn't do mathematics. I was good at physics, chemistry. I just know that I'm an art student. My father, I love reading literature books. Okay.
No, once you said you were not good in maths, physics, it's a no-go area now. Science is a no-go area for you.
Generally.
Yeah. Okay.
So, went into art, but when I chose art, fine. I know I was good at art subjects, but this is it. The music never came in. The music came in SS3. Okay, the music came in SS3, and okay. I never, as I said, not like I was okay. I want to make music. It just started. I mean, I was into entertainment, and at first I used to dance. That's how it started. Now dancing.
Dancer to music.
But you know, one thing leads to another thing. And in school back then, I remember my set mates used to call me Chris Brown Jr. because I was always talking about Chris Brown
every time.
So at a point,
inspiration
came in. You know, listening to a particular person. Often you're watching this person's video, and that's how I learned.
Okay.
And I used to sing. I was in the choir. Like, you know, throughout my childhood, I was in the choir. So knowing that I could sing, but I never for once thought that I would sit down and pen down a song.
by yourself?
By myself. Nah, I did not have that. It just came up.
Okay. Mr. Jack, seeing you talked about you were singing, was in the choir. Well,
Yeah.
I don't think you are into gospel music. But then, just before we get into that, is music something you are dreamt of? Have you ever, while growing up, I would be a musician. I'll grow up to see myself as a musician. I'll get on rapping.
Like you said, it's just like everybody drew inspiration from the P Square and that because they were the one that were running at that time. You get so everybody, even me, I used to sing P Square song from the beginning to the end. I know all their lyrics and everything. I sing their song, dance, and all of that. That's where everything started. You get so from day one, I was going to be a musician.
Okay,
you get that, but it's not something that I plan to do. I was not certain yet because at that time I was also doing this construction that we normally connect bulbs at that time too. So I had two things in mind. I do mechanical engineering in school. That's mechanical or electrical.
Electrical engineering.
Or I do music, but music was not really the thing again because that was when I was really focused on. But it's only when NEPA give light.
You say you get talent.
I get talent to sing.
But you supposed to give this NEPA something.
But if the light is not there, I'm focused on constructing with
these other bulb, this
microphone battery.
How much is that microphone battery again? I mean, that's
up to 500
back then.
now.
Back then, those days, I think it was like 50 now.
50 now. I can remember
it's up to 500 now, 700.
And I only got Sabi the number of batteries so I don't steal from church. Back in those days.
Oh, not be smart. We dey go church, we go carry batteries now. We go church, go carry batteries. So like. That's what I was like more really into. You get so now when I was setting about the music thing was when I was in about SS3.
I think there's some kind of synchronism in what you guys.
Is it okay? No, it's not. Around SS1. Yes, I started taking the music serious. Why? Because now I asked myself a question because I want to do electrical or mechanical engineering, and I was like, if I do electrical or mechanical engineering, this will need my time. Okay, you get it. To need my time.
Your focus, your attention.
Science is not be small.
No.
Science is not say
I know
science. You need to all your mind, your body, and soul. I have a friend who's studying medicine and surgery.
Yeah.
Shout out to Babylon.
Yeah.
He's a musician too. He make music.
Really?
Together. Yeah. But this guy won't disappear like this. Yeah. He won't disappear for like 3 months. Where are you? He's reading. He just shut down music.
Honestly, that one shocked me.
Me, I know that I won't be able to do that because music is something with me I want to. So I had to make a decision. I was like, okay, let me not do science because if I do science and this head where I won't carry into music now, if I carry and do science, I will drop out.
Yeah,
I go drop out because when the calculation come, I'm not giving it time. I'm focused on music. I will not go that school finish. So I had to just jump to art. Where I know that it's going to be it's not going to be difficult like that. You get science.
Science.
Like that. I know that I can do that in university. I also do music. So because at that time, I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. It's music or nothing.
Okay, so guys, this is me giving a shout out to very amazing medicine students out there and every other science students that are viewing this. It is never easy because when you told me about your guys, I remember my colleague is I think this should be in his 5th year in school. Honestly, that guy. Sometimes I do because I say that Oma don't die.
I swear.
The guy was like, Oma don't die. The guy was like, this could don't tire me, guy. Because the truth is, they started since 2020 now, until now they have not graduated. Like, guy, and the worst part, we still have like 2 years to go. So it reaches a point where they feel like giving up. You get, but I would like see. Aside from this career, is it that what really moved you into medicine? And that leads me to the question I would ask: is career choice? Because some of us sometimes we get to see ourselves doing something that initially, from onset, it's never something we actually dreamt. For example, I've always, when I grew up, I told my dad I will be a lawyer. The very first person that kicked against my decision of start reading law in school was my dad.
Okay.
What?
I was so shocked when I do you know what my dad was like, why law? I don't. It's what I love. I love advocacy. I social. My own was I wasn't really certain what advocacy means at that time.
Okay.
But what I was so sure of was speaking for the people. I was so sure about that. Being a voice to the voiceless.
VDM.
No. Okay. Somehow the VDM in my own space because I wouldn't love to because before you be VDM, I want a big name now. So for me, the VDM of my own purpose. I didn't really picture the monetary aspect, the value, the vibe that is attached to law. My own was just. I know that through law, I felt that law was a place your voice will be built. Okay, that confidence, you get to defend. My own was the key word was defending people. That was what I was after. Okay. So that was like, okay, law is like coupon. Okay. I can remember vividly the words of my dad. Law is like coupon. That is just like gambling. Mm-hmm. That when you garbage it,
you garbage out.
So, like just like what I ordered versus what I got. So definitely, it necessarily means for him, he felt like law is just something that you end up wasting your time and you get yourself indulged into things that. Okay, for example, now basically now before you make it in law, you get. So it was really on the negative side than on the positive side. Okay. So it was like, why not study medicine in school? I was like, what is up this man? And honestly, I would have been moved to science college in my SS1. Science college, you start from SS1. So like science all through.
From SS1.
So I was like, okay, why not move to science college in SS2? Let me just start SS1. Okay, see if I'm good. So that's how I ended up knowing that because somehow I think I was good in chemistry, I was good in biology. Physics was a no-go area for me. I was terrible in physics. But I ended up having physics not less than 81. I don't know how I did.
That is not bad now.
No, you don't understand. Physics for me was the course I hated most. But I put in more work to ensure I passed physics. Because I don't want to fail.
How many does you score?
81. I think that was the lowest. I think it was 85, 82, 81.
81, you don't pass.
But you know what? I was having the fear that, I was having the fear that I will fail. So I will ensure that I read more. Okay, I put in the whole work I would have used in biology and chemistry, I used it in physics. I was quoting. I will include a quote big time, quote all the formulas, enter, write, and come out. Okay. So, SS1 is not main calculation. Where we have the main gong calculation is in SS2. So SS1 is just basically all those Ohm's law and definition. Say I good now. I good short time. So, when we ended up studying, seeing myself that, I'm not good in science. Okay, let me not deceive myself. So art is for me. But what did that want? Science. Wants you to be a doctor. Ask them why. Money they doc. Money they medicine. But the truth is, we have so many persons doing fantastically well in music, in football. I take those two things as an example. Those guys know to they pressure themselves for book matter. It's just about the skills. You train yourself and you get there. So that will lead me to the question. When we talk about career, your choice, whatever you want to become in life like this, who comes in first? Is it you or your parents?
At first, when you are growing up, you don't know. So it's your parents come first. That is why it's the duty of the parents, should let the child choose what they want. Because you growing up now, you don't know what.
You're not even savvy anyway.
It's for them to just lead you, guide you. I don't know if you get it. They're duty to guide you. But most of the time, parents always make this mistake of, giving you what they want. So that they can be like, my child is this, my child is that. Because that is what they want the child to be. But deep down, maybe that's not what the child wants.
No, definitely.
But the child don't want to disappoint the parents or something like that. So you just have to do it. You get now? Or maybe at some point, maybe the child is just confused and maybe they've not guided him and be like, what do you want to do?
What do you want to do? Yeah.
Do you want this one? Do you like this one? Or maybe they check this child, how he's doing in school, his performance, see what he's good at. And be like, okay, he's good at this, he's not good at this. So let's
follow the line that is good, what is good.
That is just it. But I don't think most parents do that. Okay. I've seen someone that the dad is a lawyer and the father wants him to be a lawyer.
Whether you like it or not.
Whether you like
it. You must study like
and
this.
This boy is a gangster. Lawyer. He's
how guy?
Now my guy. You get?
And that lawyer was
when you go and everything finish, you go study law the papa wants. But deep down, nobody the boy won't be that. You get that? But his dad is uptight, and even in the fear, papa.
I see the papa the streets.
Very, very strict.
And in such cases, you will see that the mom would be the one that is, there for that guy.
Yeah.
So
now, like, what the guy tells me is that he just wants to do it so that
for just
to please the parents.
the parents.
Yeah. So I want him to just do and finish. He'll do what he wants. So he never do his own yet. May do their own finish.
So that means that once he's done, go and submit the certificates.
So, like the question that you are asking is the parent duty to guide, not to choose.
To choose.
No, you don't choose. You guide your child.
Okay. So when it has to do with career choice, who do you think should make the decision? Is it you or your parents? Remember, you're speaking for every brother without them.
Yes. As I said, it depends on the age of the child. It's at an age that the child is so young and the child is undecided of what he's good at.
What is good at, yes.
It's the duty, not even duty, responsibility of the parents.
Okay.
To check which field or which aspects
would be better for this. Yeah.
Which of them is he good at? You understand?
Yeah.
And now, from there, you know which the child can venture into now.
Yeah.
Not a situation that, because you love this particular profession, and you now come and tell your child and be like, doctors, they used to travel abroad. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying this?
Yeah.
Because my mom used to tell me, Mommy, I'm sorry.
No, we need to say the truth, guys.
When I was in SS3, as at then, I'd already made my choice as an art student. But my problem now was having a career choice. What exactly do I want to become?
Okay.
I just did arts with, at first, I said I want to be a journalist. They now brought up rumors and different talks saying journalists that go against the government, they will kill you. All kinds of things. So I'm like, okay, if that's that, what next? Next thing, now I'm brought in law. Me personally, I don't like law.
Yeah.
If I wanted to do law, it would have been law. But I just picked out saying, okay, journalism, which falls under mass communication.
Mass communication, yes.
So I said, art. Now, at that point, I was undecided about what I want to study.
Okay.
She now brought in, when I was, the time I was in JS3, let me use a language. She say, I'm at JS3. Meaning, it means, remember what I told in your JS3? I did to do science. I refuse, and I'm doing arts. And
so this is the result.
This is the result. You don't know what you want to do, study in university.
Confused me.
So, that period, I was so depressed about that. And my mom used to think about it a lot. She was going to her friends for advices to take me with them. I'm like, what do you think? My mom actually asked me. She just knew I'm good at art, but what exactly do I want to study?
Mama, you know.
But me, I just don't say.
I did that same thing too. Like when I made the decision to do art, I didn't have anything in head that I want to do. Because the only thing that I also knew was that it's simple.
No, it's not simple. Hey, it's not simple. It's not simple.
But at least it's better than science, bro. At least it's better than science.
Bro, to some
I knew that at least it's better than science.
No, I won't say
at least it's better.
I just feel to be fair, and I'm so unapologetic about this. I just feel art to some level is, I wouldn't say better. To some level is, more friendly. Let me use that word. Because
it is.
Because of calculation. Aside from the calculation part, God knows science student cannot survive art.
Okay.
I'm so much because I know most of them that they are not good with keeping records. Sort of, we deal so much with years.
I love writing.
We deal so much with writing. We deal so much with history.
For example, I use that gifted hands book.
Gifted hands,
like 200 pages. No science student won't sit down and finish that book. Maybe under, let's say, we have fast readers now.
But we have most of them are good readers. Okay, if it has to read novels like that, they are very good. But we have to read books with analyze. No, it's not that thing. It's not that thing.
That's the part where there's stress. That's the part people don't actually know.
No, yeah.
You see, your own is better than what's there.
Is that the
read? In fact, that's how you see. But you don't know. You have to analyze plot, themes, settings, those kind of things. It's bulky.
Yeah.
Art itself is bulky. It's not something you just take your time. But at some point you'll get tired because let me use my course as an example because I'm doing English education.
Okay.
Now for a particular course, let me say African drama.
Okay.
That's the title of the course. Let's say for that particular course you have like 20 novels
to cover up.
Yeah, to cover up.
You guys do major poetry, poems as well. Now.
Poetry itself is also in our course.
And 20 novels.
I'm telling you now,
these guys analyze poems every
you read 20 novels.
They get to analyze 60 poems.
Because these particular novels are allocated to this particular course. You may not know where your exam questions will come from. So you have to like read all of them. Maybe not all of them, but a good number of them and the major ones. So at least you'll be acquainted
with some.
With some. Yeah. So that in case maybe questions,
come out from this other angle.
Okay, at least I read this book.
Yes.
But not a situation that you read 20 books now and you don't see no way question. You will fail. If you don't read, you will still fail.
It's not even that.
Bro, you will still fail.
20 novels. Like if you don't read like 10, you don't forget like 5.
I'm being for real.
Yeah, when I the first time I had an English, my sister studied English in school, so I do see her reviewing poems every week. But like, I don't understand. Is it part of an assignment to 60 poems?
That's crazy.
That's crazy. I don't. So, and this 60, you know what we're going to have to read? There's no genre in literature that's as tough as poem. Like poetry, sorry. Poetry, where are the measurements of poetry? I mean, pentameter, dactylic. No.
It's not even that part. The first part that's actually difficult is you getting a message. What exactly is this poet talking about? That's why poets normally, they write in coded languages now. Sit down and think. What is this poet talking about?
Yeah.
So normally as students, let's be for real. No student will sit down. Nobody wants to sit down. Like, what is this person talking about? If you don't get that first reading,
it kills the vibe.
You get. But that's why they said it's the most difficult part of
Yes, I understand. So,
but if it's the drama and novel part, that one is easy.
Very well.
Especially the drama. This is what this person said.
Drama is it's a way of life. So you just get flowing with the whole, cast. The scenes. But when it has to do with poetry, no, it's a no-go area. But then, when we're still talking about your own challenges as growing up, in this career, may we know those challenges you actually faced? Because I know I'm from the family, it wasn't easy.
Every Nigerian artist, that's what is number one problem, family. Because there's no African parent that will let you do music easily like that. You have to be stubborn for it. Share the lie. You have to be stubborn. Because I remember when I started this music, my mom, somehow it's as if she supports you. But me, I know you don't support. You don't support. Because at that now, I just finished secondary school, I'm about to start uni. So she's always saying that this music thing will distract me. Fine. Yeah, but this is what I want to do. So my mom never supported me doing music because, the society, they just perceive music artists to be like, they're affiliated to like, bad set of guys, peer group, those kind of things. Then you start doing things that you're not meant to do when you're normal. That's what they feel, but it's not true.
Okay.
It's not true. So, family was, I had to be stubborn for me to do music. My dad was actually chill. In fact, I don't do music. My papa knows how.
Really?
My papa knows how. Honestly, my dad did not know. Just I think my mom told him, but still
he wasn't really interested.
My dad was go to school. That was what my dad was. Just go to school, be a good boy. That is it. Because what my dad also wanted was for us to go to school. So now, apart from family, school itself, because it's really hard to juggle school and music. The same amount of attention you give to your studies, that's the same music requires. Because if you try to do this at the same time, it's not as if it's not possible. It's possible to achieve both. One is definitely going to be like higher than the other. Yes.
Especially if you are in school and you just started the whole thing. And yours is very difficult in the sense that you started this, I think, at the rate of you getting admission in school, And that was before even
before I
later.
got
Ah, God.
actually.
So,
SS3.
this is serious. So you use music in that school.
Won't talk about that.
Okay. So Jack, coming to you, you talked about you see, there's one thing when you tell someone that you are a musical artist, there's this impression, that you do get some from people. So if you tell someone like you they rap, what's the energy you do receive from people?
Everybody rap. A lot of people rap. You get, so when you tell someone that you rap, I don't think there's any impression that they give. The only time they give that impression is when they hear you.
Okay.
You get, once they hear your song and say that it's a 10, you're gonna be like, there's something about you. Get you. But beside that, if you tell someone that you're an artist, I don't think there's anything special about it. You get, because one, like, what do you have to show for it as a music artist?
Okay.
You get, are you famous? You get now?
You don't blow.
You get, people want that. You get now, so it's just better you just keep quiet and let them find out by themselves.
Okay.
You get, let them find out by themselves.
I think you wanted to chip in something.
And you don't just tell them. You show them. Don't tell. You want it to show. Okay, let's say you walk up to a group of people. They're just there and you just want to market your music. Hello, TNA, I'm a music artist. I want to perform. Yes, check out my song. They'll listen to you, but just want to show us what you can do.
Okay.
You understand? So you don't just tell them, I'm a music artist. I mean, what they're expecting is, okay, what can you do? Can you freestyle? Can you show us your song? Another thing, they'll check, are you on Spotify? Let's go and check your numbers.
Your numbers. Okay.
Go and check.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to show for it. So if you don't, then just let them find out. Let them do the discovery by themselves.
I know.
So what has been that the challenges you've actually faced?
Music is difficult. Like, the music industry now, talent does not matter. You get, talent is not what it takes to become successful. You get, it's how you can push your music with your money. With your money.
Yeah.
Back then when I started music, I was thinking maybe I would want to blow organically because I was good. You get, I'm still like, I'm good when it comes to music, rap and all of that. So I'm thinking that, maybe one day I'll just drop one song and before you know it,
yeah, you are there.
Or maybe I drop one song before you know it, maybe one label like that will just come and be like,
when we sign this guy,
I'll be on my merry way.
not serious.
But now, when I kept doing music, I started finding out things about music, that talent does not matter. It's the money. So at this point like this now, after finding that out, I had to just like sit back and be like, okay, I have too much on my plate right now. I have school, I have my business. I'm trying to,
do one or two things.
Yeah. So now trying to run into music right now, 100% is going to be a loss for me because music is a business, an investment. That will not pay you now. It will pay you like in 4 years, in 5 years, depending on how you get now. So now, if you want to take in your money and everything and put right now without having something going on for yourself, you get now, you fall very, very bad. You get, so like I've just sit back and be like, okay, let me be done with school. Like this year I'll be done with school.
And so focus on music.
Focus on business. Like business first. No,
business
not
first.
music.
Not music.
Because
no.
I'm even thinking it's music first.
No. No, because if it was talent,
yes,
I know where I would
you would have. That means you would have been there.
Don't go now.
Exactly.
I did the Rema set now. Like I started music since 2016 now.
Wow.
Yeah, I started music since 2016. Like immediately I just dropped playing
from secondary school.
I enter music.
Like when I been get like spirits. Once you guys left secondary school,
music is what kept me from entering school now. I wrote jam like close to 4 times.
Really?
Yeah. Like
he's a stubborn.
I go like for real. I go register jam. I will register jam for real. Like I go register jam like this. I will not read. I'm going for shows. They're calling me for night shows. I'm going for shows. I'm performing. I'm writing new songs. I'm listening to. I'm once they tomorrow is your jam day. I don't go sleep, wake up, and go and write jam, score whatever I want.
Go creative, like.
That's why it was. I kept doing that for like. That's when my mom was like, my parents, everybody was like, we don't craze for how. You for the one school. You get don't be smart, you know. But I was feeling like maybe because when I sit that back now and look at the way it was going, I'm like, if they had like sit me down and be like, do music, they support my music actually, and they'll also guide me and also teach me how to balance this thing.
Okay.
Because once you have somebody that's more experienced than you,
Yes.
sit you down
It makes it
and
easier.
show you this thing. You say, well, we support your music 100. You get it now, but we also want you to go to school.
Okay.
So let's see how we can give you a schedule, or let's see how we could balance this thing so that you could also read and also
Do your music.
But
No.
that they don't happen. They want me to read, and me, I don't want to read. I want to write song. I want to be in the studio recording. You get now? So it was hell. It was hell. It was hell, bro. I will go for shows, come back 3 a.m. and the door is locked. I will sit outside. I will knock. Till somebody come open the door, and I enter. Maybe small thing.
I shout them with the shout.
No small shout. Now they wanna shout. They go gosh. How will you? I'll go break your leg.
In my own house, you can't be outside the gates by 6. By where 6 o'clock now coffee for my side. Back then, but now wave up to now. My mom, I remember one night I was in school till 8:30. My mom called me and she asked me, why is your environment this noisy? Why are you? I told her, Mommy, I'm in school. You are in school by this time? What are you doing? I tell her, Mommy, I came to come and see somebody. I told her, Mommy, I came to come and see somebody. And she's like, somebody by this time? Mommy, so something important.
Must it be this time?
Must it be this time? Can't the person wait till tomorrow? I was like, Mommy, I am safe. You understand?
Yeah.
Because, one thing parents don't understand is that most like musical things, events, recordings, it normally takes place at late hours.
Yes.
You never see any music event take place in the daytime.
No, exactly.
Concert
Nights,
party.
You get it's
And-
nights.
and-
Thank God it's
I know they
Friday.
won't understand. They won't understand. They won't
And-
understand.
and now-
It was even at after I wrote jam so many times. You get and they're like that's when they even come and sit me down and be like, nobody stopping me from doing music. Do music. That was when the freedom started.
Okay.
You get now. I don't know. Maybe the angel entered their body. I don't know. They be like,
Angel of the night.
do music. They be like, do music.
Okay.
Nobody's stopping you from doing
Okay.
music. You get, do your thing.
But go
You get,
school.
but we want you to go to school. You've registered jam again. We want you to read. You go for your shows. You get, go to the studio and record. Come back to the house by 9. I didn't even get setting those rules and all of that. I didn't even get.
Yeah.
And that was the year that I wrote jam and I scored high. I read. Actually, those years that they read. Because since then they are hothead with me. I follow hothead. I didn't even get.
Normal. You got stubborn.
Yeah.
You
But
got
immediately
stubborn,
that
bro.
if you don't do like, you see African parent, if you don't follow hothead, then I'm not like advising the audience like you
Don't
with their parents. No,
but
at
for this
least
particular career, you just have
something
to be
that you
stubborn.
want, something that
At
you
that
really
end
want.
stage.
If you really want that thing,
Yeah,
you know that you will dedicate yourself to that thing. You will have passion for that thing. This is what you really want. Go for it. I go for it. So they sat me down. We had a understanding about how it's gonna be. You get, and before you know it, I started reading. I started going for my shows. Come back. Like if I go for a show and I'm not able to perform early, I will give the show and go. So that I will leave the show and go.
Really?
So that peace go there. And if you get because they respected me, you respect them back. I need to get so if they call me for a show, I'll tell the host like, I need to leave your
And they
show.
are working with time.
Yeah, before so time. So I'm not able to perform at that time. I'm out.
Okay.
I'm out. I'm gone. You get. I'll go back home. Maybe read a few, sleep. You get.
Yeah.
I scored high in jam
Wow.
that particular year, and that was the year I had admission in school.
Wow. If you are watching this, of course, you have been, passionate about becoming something you want, not your parents in the future. And of course, your parents are actually giving you that guide. You need to be what we want and not what you definitely want. Okay, so this is undiluted. The truthful parts, the realities that you should, discover here with rising stars in the music industry. Of course, this has been a fantastic moment, but I want to tell you one thing, that if you are so passionate, if you are so dedicated, if you are so sure of getting to that particular place which you see yourself, you need to give in every fiber within you to ensure that you are there. Meaning that somehow, you guys get stubborn aid, but not be like, nah, mom, you will use my time, pistol. Blow out your head for you. Of course, just join us. The conversation is going interesting. We've looked at what career actually concern and the choice of making a career. Is it actually about you or about the parents? Where should the father, where should the African mom come in? What role, should the African mom play to ensure that the child is that place where the child wants to be? Remember, please, because I know that whatsoever we are doing now, whether they make the decision for us or we make our own decision, it's always, there must be consequences, okay? Yeah. And that will actually push me to the question, why is it that parents, because me, I don't understand again. Someone told me that everyone will not be a doctor. But in this Nigeria, everyone will not be a doctor. So why do you think parents? Because I don't know if this actually happened. That's why somehow we Africans, we always have our setbacks when it has to do with, comparing ourselves globally with the global, what we have in the whole wide world. Because I don't think this actually, even if it goes on in the West, I believe to some level that freedom of choice, okay, the children they are free. Though I know that sometimes, somehow you say that when you have absolute freedom, it will corrupt. You tend to corrupt, but then you're going to misuse it. But then why is it that our own parents, it must be in their will? You get? Why is it that parents do force a career on a child?
Why they force career on?
Yes. That you must be that doctor. You must be the lawyer. But it's not about your own. They know what you want. They know what you want to become in the future. Just like, for example, I had told you, in fact, 3 of us seated here. Yeah. We won't tell me that our parents accepted, to give us that full support of what we had today. No, it's never possible. Mine was really kicking against the fact that I want to be a lawyer. He said, you can never be a lawyer. Why should you be a lawyer? In fact, I got to a point where I think when I switched to history, in fact, to be very, very sincere, I told my dad that if it is not this, I am not doing anything again. In fact, instead of doing what you want me to study, I'll go and read history and international studies in school. Like, guy, my brothers were like, are you normal? The first thing, my brother was just laughing. My face broke because he had checked me small periwinkle. Yeah, carrying your shoulders, So now, why is it that parents, because at that point I felt that it's not about my happiness again. It's not about my joy. So it's about you. You get. You want me to be, what you want to be, maybe for your own reason. So for you, looking at this whole scheme, why do you think parents, insist? Let me use that. Let me not use force, so to say, but insist that you must be this instead of what you want.
First, I'll say, since they are adults, they have seen a lot of things.
They have seen a lot. A lot have not seen them.
That's what they always say.
That's what they think.
That's what they think.
Yeah.
No doubt. We're not doubting you.
No, we are not doubting that.
You have seen a lot of things.
And a lot have seen
you. They are more experienced.
Okay.
So now, because of what they have seen and the experiences they have had, when they
Okay. Yes.
They will now instill those practices. What they learn from their own parents. I think on cultural background, also another factor. The way they were brought up, that's the same way they want to bring up their kids.
Yes.
Our Nigerian culture now.
You dare not talk back at
you dare not talk about
who are you arguing with?
Your parents.
You can't try that nonsense.
If I think okay, in some families, there are some families that the great grandfather was a doctor. Great is the doctor. Your dad doctor. And they just want to follow that line.
It has been in our lineage.
Why? Because it's a legacy has, and they just want to keep on keeping it to the next generation.
Just like my family, everyone is a teacher. Everyone. Yeah.
So, I mean, that the cultural background
also influences.
Yeah. Now, back to what I said before, what they say about experience. I mean, you may not have knowledge about that particular career you want to go for. It's just that you admire it, and you might not really like sit down to think about the pros and the cons of this career you're going for. You just admire it. But your parents, knowing that they know people that have done these things that you're applying to go into, they will tell you, and if it was maybe a bad experience that they saw, They won't talk about the positive side though.
No, they will look at the negative.
They will take the negative side and tell you, this thing you are going into, this is how it is. You won't make it though. And this they always say it's very hard. It's very, very hard. They need connections. Those kind of things. So with that, they tend to like try to bend you doing something that they have seen with their own eyes. I'm like, okay,
these things are working. You need to do that. Try this one.
If you do this one, you'll be a reputable person in society now. Okay. I know, as I said, the prestige of a personal profession. Imagine, of course, there is no Nigerian mother that will not.
A doctor.
Especially a doctor.
He made a doctor.
And I'm thinking, this. Yeah, kind of thing. So, I mean, their personal experiences, what they have seen, influences like makes them want to bend those, doing what they think we should do.
Your mom today, your mom would have been called Eka Lolo.
Then also the cultural, background, raised. I think those are the two majors. There might be other factors or reasons why they tend to choose a particular career.
Are the main.
The main
ones. There could be other ones, maybe minor reasons why they get to that. Okay. The major ones.
Okay.
Are the ones I stated.
Okay, so Jack, talking about them, this whole career thing, or at some point I feel that you get as life day for streets because somehow when you have to read this line of there are certain things that. Most parents believe that you must read book. Just read book, guy. Just know book. But there are some certain persons that they don't really fancy book of a thing. But then they have the talents to explore the street life very well. So, for you now, do you feel that sometimes street life really pays instead of this book of a thing? Like, if you just want to focus on, making it through the streets, you can just make it other than, you must go to school. So my own is that must it be book?
Not in the street though. Not in the street. If you the street, you will see the people they try won't come off for street. Because nothing there. The thing with the street na problem. Wahala. You get issues. You go die. You get nothing in the street. You understand? So it's just for you to not have that hustling spirit.
Okay.
You get whether you go school or you get whether you no go school. You understand? It's just to find something that you are good at.
Okay.
You get something that you can do. This is what I want to do. You get now. Find it and expand.
Okay.
You get there's this saying that they always say chase the bag. Nah, I don't. Some people chase money.
The bag.
I don't say for some years now. Let's say like 2 years now. I've changed that whole concept. Like it's no more chase the bag or it's now make friends with the bag. Yeah, make friends with money.
When I know you get now.
Yeah. Actually, it's true. Make friends with money. Okay, make a break them down now. Something like we say, okay, when you say chase the buyer, hustling. Hustling means doing whatever it takes to make money.
Anyhow,
somebody say I'm hustling. I'm doing whatever it takes to make money. Whether good, whether bad, I'm just doing whatever it takes to make money. You get now. That's you chasing the bag. You get now. A lot of also puts in problems. You get now. But making friends with money is having a process and you make money.
Steady process.
You get
not be illegal.
That is it. Find a process that you can make money from. Once you find that process.
When you say process, you mean business, right?
Yeah, business wise, expand. You expand. Okay, let me give for example now. You get now. Let me give for example now. Someone wants to be a photographer.
Okay.
This doesn't have anything to do with book. Let's say streets.
It is
streets. That one is just streets and that.
So now you want to be a photographer now. You get now. You don't have a camera. You don't have anything.
You go now.
You don't even know how to snap. So what do you do now? Is go and learn from someone who knows how to and be an apprentice to that person. Yeah. Right? Okay, now. So you learn it for a year and 6 months, or maybe a year. And you are done. And what's the next thing you do? Is to own a camera.
Okay.
Yeah? You own a camera, you start having service for people, doing service for people, snapping people, all of that. What have you done right now? You started making friends with money.
Okay.
You use people, are the ones that come and hire you.
They can even recommend you. And they recommend you to someone.
That is you now, making friends with the money. Did you chase the bag?
No.
You made friends with it, right? It's a process. You get now. Then what do you do next? Is to expand.
Okay.
Have a studio. Maybe to buy, okay, you have a camera, get 2 lens, get 3 lens, get LED lights, get things. Before you know it, you rent a space, before you know, you own a studio. You get, so it's all about the so street life. You get nothing in the streets. You get, if you want to dwell in the street, you will die there. You get that because you get into a lot of problem. Like, I don't even want to go into details of stuff, but you go into a lot of problem. You get now, so there's nothing in the streets. It's either you go to school or you find something and do. Nothing in the streets.
So that means that to some level, because there are some people that I don't just want to go school guy, maybe I shut down.
Yeah.
Because if I'm always inspired by the story of Davido.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, there's no Nigerian musician that has inspired my life like that guy. In the sense that when it has to do with his passion, that guy has seen shaking in the hands of his father. You know, during his interview, like I said, this is what this guy went through in the hands of, because the father feels, he just said that, I can remember one thing he said, that in their family, the way when they see, like, no matter how wealthy you could be, you know, there are certain parents that are born into that family where they get the silver spoon. There are some people who come fight for the silver spoon, they want to get them. So that no matter how wealthy you are, if you've not been through the walls of education, you've not been through school, there's how the father go rate you. They will just feel like you're worthless. So for them, how they understand prestige in terms of your exposure to education. So whether you want fly, whether you want do anything for life, in Papa won't be say that go to school. You get?
Yeah, education is very important. It's not like it's not. You know, like in a country like this, you know, you just make it feel like say this.
I mean, there's no stuff. No,
Country like this,
it's not important.
it's like not important. You get now because if you see the oppression online, you see a lot of guys that are making money and these people they didn't even go to school, but they are making
just talents.
You get now, but you'll be surprised that in the Western world, you get now, this school that we are going to, a lot of people go through this process. They finish, and they started working, and they are millionaires through a certificate. But in a country like they make it look worthless.
Yes,
you get, school is very important. You get, if like you asked about the street stuff, you get now, if you are street smart and you have education to it, I don't think there's anything that can stop you.
Collabo.
Yeah, collabo
guy.
I don't think anything can stop you. You get, because you know you've been through the both worlds, the wall of school
and the wall of streets. You know how you feel navigate.
I don't think anything can stop.
And street, nothing. Street teaches you things that school won't teach you. Yes.
So you get lessons where they hidden like this.
Yes. There are things that street will teach you. Things like survival skills.
Okay.
That one, those like there are certain things or experiences you get to have that. I mean, if you're not someone that is acquainted with the street way of life, you will not know how to like navigate your way through that.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
Because you know what school is about. School is about formality. They like all those formal, but they don't like
that we coded.
Coded. Everything always
be like this. Don't be like this.
They won't teach you the main things. Like if you find yourself like in a very natural environment, how are you going to survive?
Let's just say maybe if you're attacked.
No, not really attacked.
No, not really attacked.
No,
but
not attacked. Not attack. Attack is a different thing. The attack run.
Well, if you get strength, fight back.
No fight.
No fight back.
See,
but it depends.
Once you are not advise anybody, you understand. If you see problem,
leave them.
If you see fight,
leave them.
Don't say if you stand. No.
And fight will not be your fight. No.
But what's a survival skill you're actually trying to talk about here?
The survival skill. Now, let me use betting.
Okay.
On a normal day, let me use a guy named Emeka. Now Emeka no get food.
Okay.
Nothing to Emeka. Emeka done Alaska. Waiting me Alaska 2K.
Okay.
Now, what will school tell you? School will tell you, use that money. That's even school is going to. That's if school is going to tell you. They'll tell you, use that money. Why not use that money and go and invest or start up a business?
Buy this.
But in that, like Emeka, normal in the streets, you don't know what you want to use the money to now. Of course, within 2K if you do. Now you know what Emeka will do. Now we'll carry out 2K enter bet shop. It's not something school teach you. I enter bet shop, you bet. I now have you bet with these hopes that okay, this money is now going to give you more money. You understand? School never teach you betting. Now street go teach you. You understand? Why? The environment you find yourself, the people you meet up, you
mingle with.
Then the things you see do happen. You know, it's what you see. When you see some kind of things, you want to try it out yourself. Now, Maker will now carry that 2K. Now we'll go betting shop. You place bet, who knows? The 2K now count on maybe 15K. Now school teach you that one.
No, it's cool.
And street OT. And street OT.
But no, it's street OT.
Wait, no chill. You know why? I don't think anybody that is educated like that wants to sit down and carry his last card and go and bet.
And that is luck. That is luck.
Why?
That is luck.
Why?
Why is it luck?
No, I'm saying why an educated person will not take his last card to go and bet. Knowing that betting is like, as I said, luck.
Yeah.
Look, it's something you're not used to, but you just want to try. When you know when you see people saying,
I
cash out this amount for betting. You will be saying you never tried before, and you know your type of lifestyle with that.
No, when we talk about survival, understand? When you say street teaches survival, we're talking about patience, being hardworking, persistence, and all of that. And if you get, okay, let me give for instance now, you get now means to make money, like day school, but the closest opportunity that you have, like okay, say they dig gutter for there, you understand now? You go dig that gutter.
Even labor work,
that is street life. I don't think gambling is street life.
Okay. For me, I feel like it's street life.
I don't think it is.
Okay.
I think it is what you can do in the streets.
Okay.
And make money.
Okay.
That doesn't involve you stealing or whatever. That is street life.
Don't get me wrong. The labor work you said is part of street life.
It's part of street life.
As you said, give it an example like survival skill. No?
Yeah.
I know say gambling is street life, but it's just one of the activities you have to do in the streets. It's one of the I mean,
I see rich people playing gambling. You get,
man.
I see rich people playing gambling. So I'm like
rich guys.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm saying
So we one day.
I've been the gamble before now. I've been the gamble before.
Okay.
You get. So I see no, everybody gambling will do you something. So you go.
You go shut down.
You shut down. Okay. You go shut down. So I'm saying rich people. I see people take their car.
Car.
Now get money to gamble now.
They spend their money. They empty their account, and before you know it, they put the car there outside. They play. You can understand, okay, I put my car, let me play for 500k. I never get. Then before you know it, they don't chop them 500k. So either they carry 500k and come and carry their car, or maybe the next 1 month, they won't have the car again. So I don't think that is survival.
Yeah.
I won't call that survival in the streets. You understand? It's just what you can do in the streets. Okay, let's be like one time like that where, okay, this happened with, okay, that was last year. Me and my guy, we strolled in the street now. So, one big Pampers truck, parked in front of us, and the man was like, "How far now? I'm gonna come offload this small cash." You understand? So me and my friend were just passing around. Look the man, tell him say, "I was dressing all good, my designer, I buy for boutique." I tell him, "My man, look me. Whether waiting there, they wait for body, no cost pass how much you want pay. Whether I be like, you get now, but the other kind of work. Let's say 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I go do one." Collect that money. And if you get, so street life, you understand, will just teach you patience, hard work, how to be persistent, you have to keep pushing, chasing what you want. And if you get,
So just before we call it a wrap, what is the advice you give to anyone out there that wants to be something, but for some reasons or another, he or she the parents, kind of, they are forcing that dream on
I have 2 things to say.
Okay.
First, I'll talk with the parents. I'll talk about the parents first. Now, if your child wants to do anything, you get, and you need to just check. Don't close the door behind that boy or that girl. Don't close the door behind that child. Check that child. This thing that he wants to do, is he good at this thing first? Because I feel like if parents, support their children the first decision that they choose, like something they want to do, and immediately they start supporting, investing. I think we'll have a lot of successful musicians. Like I'm talking about myself. I feel like if my parents are like at that early time, so they're putting money, investing and pushing my music, you get,
You will fly.
I would have gone far. You get, because even at that time, this girl I was singing this children's song. The dad pushed that song.
Yeah.
All the way this from Onitsha or Aba.
All about the song was just about Misu Mayaki.
You see, so if the parent that closed the door behind that
Child now, because of the talent. No, she wouldn't have.
You get now, so check your child. Is he good at this thing? You know, now when you are done checking, okay, this child is good. Now look at yourself. I would like to be able to push him. Get now with the little that I have.
Okay.
Ask questions. Ask people. People that actually know this. You don't want to ask people that don't know.
Is she in the industry?
People that know this thing and ask. What do you think about? What do you think about? What do you think about this? You get now.
Yeah.
If you get good advice and you see your child is good,
yeah, good to go.
You don't have money early to invest.
Okay.
Yeah, guide your child. Okay, we'll do this. We'll plan for this. But I want you to do this.
Okay.
For now.
Okay.
Push on this other side. Okay. Right, Jam, get into school. They are planning
this process for you. Okay.
I don't know if you get that.
Yes, I get
for
that.
The parents. You can now check your child and support, guide.
Okay.
For the children now, for the child, I would say that whatever you want to do, if it's against your parents, like your parents don't want you to do that thing, and you want to do it, you check yourself. Do I have what it takes
to do that?
This thing? Because you know you say, oh, give person false hope. I need to get. Do you have what it takes to do this thing? Check yourself well. And if you get, check yourself, compare, contrast, do all those things, do the maths, do the homework, do everything. And if you get, ask yourself these questions: can I? Is this something I want to do on the long run? If, okay, now, this thing maybe I want to do now in the next 3 years and I've not gotten anything good from it, will I still be able to continue? He said, ask yourself those questions, and once you are done, you choose what you want to really do.
Okay, so T, you know, looking at you and hearing everything you have actually, what life has seen in you and what you've seen in life. Okay, and I got to realize that you've been an independent singer. You've actually pushed yourself to this level. So now, how do you get to break free from a life you didn't choose? Because I know that, you know, mom and dad, they were not really fully in support. That was then, yeah. So as at that time, how were you able to, you know, break free, you know, going through the whole thing by yourself, you know? How were you able to do that?
First, it was my mindset.
Okay.
Everything begins with mindset. So if there's something you want to do, everything starts with mindset. You want to do something, here.
It
starts with
okay, they all got a
because if you are not sure, you won't go into it. If you make up your mind to do something, definitely you are going to that thing.
Definitely.
Although my parents were not supportive.
Okay.
And secondly, I mean, music is expensive.
Yeah,
I don't have the money to, you know, even little thing as artwork. You understand? I had to pay. I couldn't do artwork. I'm not going to lie. I couldn't do artwork. I had to like, oh my God. You be hearing amounts out like, they charge me like, say, they charge the video. You understand? So the financial aspect, the fact that my parents were not really supportive then.
Yeah.
As I said, mindset. I just kept on doing this thing. But don't this music thing will distract you. I'm like, mommy, I know. I'm in school. I'm in school. I'm reading. Yeah. But at the same time, I can't abandon this other thing.
Okay.
I can't abandon this other thing. So I kept on doing the music thing. Then, you know, I mean, when you get in school, you get to meet new people, you get to make connections, you know, people that will be of value to the career you want to do. I mean, when I came to school, I met a lot of artists. Some of my friends now are people I met in uni.
Yeah.
Then my producer is like my homeboy from IK. I think he's one of the people that groomed me in music.
Wow.
My first song, I disturbed Baba. Baba. Baba, you have to do this one. I mean, my first song was about the girl. So I said, Baba, you have to do this one. My producer then, I mean, it's my homeboy now. So my friend, he not charging. But from there, I was saying, guys, give me something. As they go, but they increase. Now, about the financial aspect, now, at the point, I was like, almost things getting expensive. How many I want to do? Up to a point, I have to tell my producer, see, how about I will not go fit to pay you, but you could just help me to record sometime. If I get, I will give you. I said no. So I mean, as everybody level up, me I follow level up. So like I said, mindset. If I don't make up my mind, I'm like, okay,
it wouldn't have been here. Definitely. Okay.
Then you have to be patient because everything's not music is not quick.
You cannot just blow overnight, guy.
You can't just blow overnight.
The process.
It's a process. You have to keep on recording, you meet people. Actually, promotion matters. I mean, that's where everything. It's not about you doing the song. It's not about you doing the song. Promotion. That's where everything lies. Because in fact, promotion is more expensive than production.
Okay.
Yeah. So, although I mean every musical act, so it's like okay, I know this is expensive, but anyhow, we still give it a try.
Okay.
We still do. So that's how I just kept on going. Then, I kept on putting out songs. At a point, my mom was like, I like this song. I remember when she used to tease me about my song, Scream My Name. Scream My Name. Even our friends now listen to my music.
Okay.
In church, one of our friends told me and said, you this brother used to dance on TikTok. Man. And I used to watch you on TikTok. How? Mommy. She was not in support.
Someone that wasn't even
in support.
Yeah,
but now,
and I just believe this is just unfair.
Once you has to do with trust, once your parent now trust you
and they see the process. You know.
So I would love to add something to my advice to young artists that are coming up out there is before you want to venture into music, before you decide I want to be a music artist, I would love you to learn production.
Okay.
Music production.
Okay. Learn the production first.
Learn production first.
So you can produce yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, because it will help you with the cost of production.
Cost of production.
You get now, because once you start producing yourself, like once you learn production, you get now, it will push you to get equipment.
Okay.
Even the least sound card, you understand, mic, and the mini speakers. Okay. You can start producing for yourself. Okay. You get now, and you know that the only thing you can handle right now is promotion. Because promotion, you can spend more than 2 million for one song if you want it to be heard. Like 2 million now for a song.
It's serious.
For a song. Yeah, music is expensive now. Okay. So my advice is young artists, go into production first. Just leave music first. Learn production. After you're done, you can jump into music.
Okay, so before you call it a rap, how can we get to, listen to your music, get to where can we watch or can we listen to whatever you've been having so far cooking for us? Is there anything coming up you get to share with us as well?
My music is out on Spotify. I have a lot of music. Like I release music. But
what are the top lists like we have?
I have High.
Okay.
The music High. I shot the music video. I released it.
Okay.
It's available on YouTube. The songs are available on AudioMac, Spotify, Apple Music. Just go and search Jackson Ken. I'm the only one who's behind Jackson Ken on Spotify and Apple Music, I think. Yeah. So just search Jackson Ken. Jackson, then Ken. Search it. You'll see me appear. I wore it. So you know that is big.
If you drop some small rap, maybe if you
just click on it. They don't go and click on it. They'll hear the rap there.
Okay, so how can we get to? Do you have any event coming up that you want maybe your listeners to join or something? Just leave us how we can get to listen to your music.
Okay. As I said before, I go by the name TNA, right? My music are available on all musical platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, Boomplay, and my biggest song right now is titled Shalaye.
Okay.
I released it 2023. I have other songs, but those songs were taken down from Spotify and Apple Music due to technical issues. So those other songs, like It's Sure For You, Far Away, Scream My Name, are available on AudioMac. But Shalaye, it's all around on YouTube. It doesn't have a music video yet, but there are viral videos for it on my TikTok and Instagram. I have a single coming in, but I don't know when soon, but soon.
But soon it will drop.
Yeah, it will drop, yes.
Okay. It's sure for you. It's always sure for me. Anytime, every day here at Uproot the Issue podcast. Of course, I have a fantastic rapper here. All the events get to book him as well, because they will spice up the events for you, and they will help you see, there's nothing so fantastic in an event than when you have a fun-filled moment. Now, fun when we want to come catch there. No one do crusade, okay? So get to, invite for your Happy Friday. they get
exactly.
to have,
I'm free for performance.
free for performance anytime.
Feel free to book me.
So you heard about everything we've discussed so far. The parting words I have for you as your host is please get to pursue your passion. Hold your passion. Try as much as possible to study the process. Get to be so attached to your parents when it has to do with the part of helping you to grow. Because without them, honestly, to some extent, you can arrive there. But when you are determined, you will get there. Because with you, the future is assured. Until next time, this same time, I will come your way. Please stay safe and remain blessed. I love you. And I don't think you don't love me. You love me more.